Yeah, it's $700. That's a lot of money for a console. Like, I feel like this is one of the most expensive consoles that's ever been released. I remember when the Dreamcast came out, and it was like super expensive, and people went crazy about it. And then the PS3 was really expensive. People went crazy about it. So when I think about this, $700 for something like this, that's nuts, man. Like, that's a lot of money.
Run 60 frames per second.
Well, everyone plays performance mode, it seems.
Mainly.
Yeah, man, that's expensive. £700, they're mad. For a disk drive, no disk drive, and it feels like it's barely upgraded graphics, man. I don't know, to me. I mean, the way they showed it, it looks like, oh, that looks a bit crisper and that. And it's nice to play a crisper game with the performance of 60 frames per second. But if you've got a PC, psh, and if you've got already a PS5, psh, I'm sure GTA 5 will be fine playing on performance mode. Like GTA 6, sorry. I don't know. Just doesn't seem worth it to me.
Allowing for improvement.
It's like you're showing a bunch of games that came out years ago. Like, what's going to happen in 1 year? Isn't the PS5 Pro going to have the same problems that the PS5 has now?
Asmon's right, absolutely right. Like, back in the days, when they're going to drop in, like, the PS4 Pro, for example, they were showcasing new games for that shit. But it's going to be 800 because of the disk drive. The disk drive's 100 quid. They're taking the piss. 800, you might as well... I mean, $1,000 is a lot. I was about to say, add $1,000 and get a PC. But PC... You know, I don't know if the old arguments of, yeah, invest in a PC, it's a lot more expensive than consoles, but it's going to last. I mean, I guess technically it lasts. I mean, I've had my 3070, put quite a bit of money to that. I had my 3070 for a while now. But at the end of the day, it's still struggling to do some of the more epic things like, you know, play Wukong and the cinematic levels and that. You're always going to be mid-range. Nearly 1,000, yeah. I know it's easy to say you might as well just get a PC for that price, but nah, PCs to get a decent one, PCs are expensive, man. Like just 1,000 alone, you still got to pay a bit more to get a good graphics card alone. So I guess it's still good value for money if you just want a game and you want easy access and you want relatively modern gaming. Obviously, you don't have the library of a PC because if you're clever, you can have almost anything you want on a PC, but.
The faster hardware in PS5 Pro can make a real difference.
Yeah, the PS3 high price, yeah. I'll sell it at a high price. That's Sony. That's why they love Resident Evil 4.
Allowing Gran Turismo 7 to add ray-traced reflections between the cars in gameplay, while continuing to support their targeted 60 frames per second.
At one point.
That boosting ray tracing.
I'm sorry, but like...
I think the original Xbox.
I think Forza looks way better. This is like this... If you told me this was on the PS4, I would be like, yeah, I know that.
Is also delivering big wins for Hogwarts Legacy. Allowing...
Now, this one looks really nice.
Doesn't it already look like this? I can't really tell the difference.
Really, really nice.
But also for further realism in the casting of shadows.
PS5.
5 Pro. Simply put, it's the most powerful console.
I'm ready to destroy your wallets and your banks and your finances. Just buy the PlayStation 5 and suffer greatly. Don't eat for 4 weeks and buy the PlayStation 5.
That's all we've ever built.
Yeah.
And a worthy addition to the PS5 family. Let me wrap this up.
Imagine if it wasn't the most powerful.
Look at a number of games running on the new console.
Does Asmon even own a PlayStation? I know he's a proper PC head. Hell no, I'm
Game came out over a year ago.
Same, man. I got the normal PS5 right here. So I'm going to probably stick with that. Though my other red controller seems to be... The controller analog stick seems to be busted. I don't know what's going on with that. But Sony made this high price because Sony lose so much money this year. Sony made this high price because Sony... Yeah. Well, on Concord, they definitely did, man. Damn. That was a Sony exclusive, right? They got wrecked on Concord.
$700. Did you like Hogwarts? Yeah, it was all right. So that's a lot of money, man. Most expensive consoles at launch.
I didn't see Asmon's
the 10 most expensive consoles at launch. So we have the Wii U is $350. Sega Saturn, this one was nuts. This is a 32-bit system. This was crazy. I have one of these. Xbox 360 was $400. Turbo graphics. This was super old. Yeah, and also keep in mind that, like, this is also the price that it was back then, as far as I know. So these are not being adjusted for inflation. So yeah, I mean, I bet this probably is like the same price of a PS5 Pro, like comparatively, because this came out in like what, like 98 or something like that. Oh, this is still expensive late 80s. I see, the 80s. Yeah, okay, there we go. And I thought it was even later than that. PS4 was $400. Xbox One was $500. PS3 was $600. Yeah, PS3 was crazy expensive. Neo Geo was $650. 3DO, I forgot all about this one. Philips CDI, $1,000.
So do I. Well, not
wow.
the. I've had a few different Sega Dreamcasts since
back then too. One. Yeah, the Neo Geo Blu-ray player. Yeah, well, that's one of the big things. Like, so PlayStation 3 was crazy because it had a Blu-ray in it. And, like, people were buying Blu-ray players at that time for, like, a few $100s by themselves. So, like, the fact that PS3 had this was, like, a huge value add. Because, like, this is what also PS2 did as well. Because the reason a lot of people bought PS2s for DVD players.
Before they could replicate the DVD boom that the PS2 did with the PS3 Blu-ray, I guess it kind of worked in a way. They did the same move twice. And yeah, man, the DVD thing inside the PS2 really killed the Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was, I think, the superior console. But PS2 just had too many games, too much catalog, and the DVD just like, it already killed the Dreamcast for its catalog, though Dreamcast catalog was special, unique, and just slick. Had slick games. I don't know if it was better graphics. Maybe, yeah, it's like better graphics. But the PS2 just had too many, had too much. Normally quality beats quantity, but I think PS2 had quality and quantity and DVD. It was just too much. But even though
and I think the PS3 did the same thing with Blu-ray.
It was my one.
So yeah. And old, yeah, it was a while ago, right? The euro is currently more valuable than USD, right? It's sending a pretty strong message. Yeah, Europeans don't deserve to use PlayStation. Sorry, guys. That's just that's what Sony wants to say. Were you drunk when you came up with these prices? PlayStation, we have no games. We've raised the controller price.
The controllers that keep breaking, by the way, I had to use this one. I've been using my red one normally. I have to go back to my actual main PS5 white one for my PC. I use PS5 controllers for my PC. I don't think that's what broke it, but I doubt it. But yeah, my red one, the analog stick don't even work properly. It's drifting to the side and stuff like that. I need to get that fixed, even though I've only had it less than a year. I think I got it for Christmas, so I've had it less than a year, you know. And the analog stick's really messed up on my red controller. But my main PS5 controller is working, and it's not like a third-party controller either. So yeah, we have no games. We raised the controller prices. We are getting rid of your physical media. We are basically Xbox in every way. We just have more nostalgia. Now pay us $700. You pay pigs for the privilege of saying you're a pay pig. Yeah, the worst sin is they have no games. Like, it's just, we're playing old games. Like,
getting rid of your physical media. We are basically Xbox in every way. Just have more nostalgia. Now give us $700, you pay pigs, for the privilege of saying that you're a pay pig. You had $250 million to invest in garbage like Concord, but you couldn't afford to put a fucking disk drive on your flagship product? Are you trying to race against Ubisoft for bankruptcy? Will the PSVR 2 experience get any adjustments? Let's see any more of these.
See Asmon's chat.
Sony just announced that the Pro's releasing this November, and it's not cheap, which is why it's probably going to lead to the end of consoles. Here's why I think so. Everybody knows that PC gaming is going to give you the highest quality gaming experience possible. To put it simply, computers just more powerful. Everything runs at a higher quality, which is why computers are very expensive. A decent gaming computer is going to cost you $1,000.
Computers won't kill console gaming. Mobile will. It's not, no.
But PlayStations, Xboxes, and Nintendo Switches have always been great. Because while they're still not cheap, paying $200 to $300 was a lot easier and still allows you to have a great gaming experience. Now, as these consoles are getting more and more powerful, starting to get more competitive with PC gaming, the price tag is going up. The PS5 Pro,
right.
a diskless console that has a larger GPU, advanced ray tracing, and AI-driven upscaling, whatever that means, I honestly don't know, is naturally going to be more expensive.
Better.
Makes me wonder if two things are going to happen. Consoles like Nintendo Switch are going to start to thrive, because it truly will be the only affordable console in the marketplace. As I can promise
they'll fix that. They're making a new one soon.
Xbox will always kind of be aligned with the PlayStation.
Sure,
You're going to see PlayStation and Xbox prioritize the portable gaming space once again.
Yeah.
Actually, Xbox never really prioritized it, but we all know the PSP era was iconic and would love to go back.
I think that if you're buying a PS5 Pro, you are outside of the affordable market. I don't think you're the target audience. I think PS5 Pros are for the people that buy expensive cars. You know, they're for the people that are enthusiasts about it. That's the reason why. So, like, I don't think that people are, like, a good gaming PC will cost you a lot more than $700.
Yes.
And there's, like, 3 extra steps that you have to do in order to make that gaming PC happen.
Yeah.
So, like, in order to, like, 2K, I think $1,500, right? Like, you can get a good gaming PC for $1,500. And if you get a good gaming PC, that also means that you need a monitor.
That's like
and you need a
$2,000,
keyboard. And you need a mouse.
And
you need this other stuff, right? And this is putting it together, like figuring out the pieces. I know that for a lot of us, look, I've built PCs before. A lot of you guys have probably built PCs before, but we're not the target audience for something like a console. The fact is that a lot of people aren't familiar with how to do it. They're afraid of it, and it makes them nervous. And that's why they either buy a pre-built PC, imagine that, and or they buy a console. So there's a huge market for stuff like this, right? Absolutely. So I don't really see console, like, I don't see the price of this being actually competitive right now. Did they learn nothing from... Bro, I'm gonna be real, like, this actually does give me a bit of nostalgia. See, that's the Sega CD, because I had this, and then I don't know what this is here, and then you had the Game Genie, and then you would put the Sonic and Knuckles with Sonic 3 on there. Oh man, this one's so fucking hard, man. God damn. Yeah, I actually had one of these. And I didn't have this one, but I had the other ones. And the Sega Tower of Power, exactly. I mean, I don't think that the PS5 really has a lot of games on it that really make it worthwhile. That's the way I feel about it.
You can get most of them on PC.
I just...
If you've got
unless you really like at least like 5 or 6 of the games. I mean, if I think back to like the PS2, or I think about the PS3, or I think about... Right?
Sony are mad.
Like, especially Nintendo consoles, there's so much value. And I just don't really see that with the PS5 right now. I don't. PS2 was crazy. PS2, in my opinion, actually this isn't my opinion, it's an objective fact. It's the best console ever made. That's just everybody knows this. Everybody knows that that's the way it is.
Objectively?
For sure.
I guess.
It's not even remotely close. And
this comes as some... it did, and in terms of the reach it had, 100% it was the best console. But I think the Dreamcast, obviously I'm biased, but I think because I'm a Sega boy, I think the Dreamcast was the best in terms of internet. It didn't have DVDs, but it was just slick. It just didn't have the games, did it? Well, it had really unique games. Like, you couldn't get Shenmue on the PS2. You had Sonic Adventure, the Sonic Adventure games, Crazy Taxi, Jet Set Radio. You know, you had quirky games like Trick Style, and then you had what were some of the other games? You had Power Stone games. I don't think Power Stone was on PS2. You remember that all those years ago when Xbox made all this did all this complicated shit, and then PlayStation just went, and this is how you do the PlayStation, and they just showed the price. I can't remember what it was. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about right now. I need to find it now. Let me see if I can find it. Xbox, yeah, this is when PlayStation.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that Xbox One will launch this November, 429 pounds in the UK.
Ooh,
I'm very proud to announce that PlayStation 4 will be available at $399.
Quiet.
Now Sony's in this position right now. All the people who's come back to this video.
We will start
how
over.
the tables turn, exactly. Yeah, so what you just said, Nintendo's going to do this to Sony now, I think. It's Sony's turn.
And I understand that people might not think the Wii is that important, or like the 3.
They should. I think they should release a new console. And I think it should just be like as good as it needs to be. Because they've already established themselves as, we don't need super amazing graphics to be amazing, to be a great console. Because we've got the games, we've got the IPs, and you want to play those IPs. They just need to get the graphics to be as good as like PS5 basic. And that alone would be like seeing Zelda in just PS, even lesser, slightly, just better than PS4 Pro, but maybe slightly worse than the base PS5. And that would, seeing a Zelda game in those graphics alone would be like, people go mad for that.
First and third party games you can expect to see these enhancements with: Alan Wake 2, Assassin's Creed Shadows, Demon's Souls, Gran Turismo 7, Hogwarts Legacy, Horizon Forbidden West, Marvel's Spider-Man 2,
old, fam.
Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, The Crew Motorfest, The First Descendant, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, and more. So will this make a difference for the visual enthusiasts, you know, the folks that demand the best from their console and count pixels and analyze frame rates? Will it make a difference? Probably. Will it make much of a difference to the average consumer? We don't know. You need to buy an optional, sold separately, disk drive. This disk drive for this device is the one currently available to purchase as an add-on for those newer PS5s. Now, along with this, the vertical stand that they showed the console with is apparently sold separately as well. I say all this because of the official price. A whopping $700 in the United States. Even crazier, 700 pounds, 800 euros. You get the gist. It's expensive across the board.
The only thing that's going to get me to buy a PS5 Pro is if GTA 6 comes out, and well, it's coming out 2025, right? Next year. Whoa, shit! We're basically going to be in October soon, or in mid-September roughly. We're in like, oh shit! So there's 9/11 now. Moment of silence. We're already getting close to the end of the year now. We're in the end half now, and GTA 6 is coming out next year. Remember when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out and it made everybody's PS4s go so that made me get a PS4 Pro. I was like, all right, it's time. I need to get a PS4 Pro because I want to play Red Dead Redemption smooth, you know. So if GTA 6 comes out and my PS5 is like struggling with it, like my PS5 ain't even had that long of a shelf life, or should I say like cupboard closet life, where I keep it. Like it's kind of just there's not been many games to play, to be honest. Yeah, if GTA 6 is just too hard to run for the PS5, then that might be what makes me get it, because you want to play GTA 6 in the best quality possible, and I'm pretty sure GTA 6 ain't coming to PC right away, and even if it does, it's my 3070. I mean, I've got a like Ryzen 9, that's one of the best CPUs, right? I don't know how new the CPUs are now for Ryzen AMD, but I got like a 3070 on my PC that like is struggling with Wukong, you know, but I think it's still better quality than what Wukong would look like on the PS5. I'm sure it is, from what I'm playing right now, even though it heats up my PC pretty good. So yeah, GTA 6, hopefully it's good. Hopefully it works well. What happened if GTA 6 might have DEI and ESG? It probably will, man. I just hope Rockstar, because we know Sam Houser, Dan Houser, they're not really into it no more. Laszlo and all them lot. Those are the guys that made GTA what it is. And if they're not that involved, their hand isn't on it anymore. It's like George R. R. Martin, isn't it? It's going to be like taking their creation and their writing or whatever and just doing what they want to do. These new modern writers. I just hope they got good replacements to do it, you know? We'll see. But based on the first trailer, everything looks promising. Nothing looks really woke. The fact that they got women shaking their asses and all that, you know, the women in bikinis. There's nothing about it that feels anti-GTA. But we'll see.
So you're looking at $700 minimum, plus the cost of the disc drive if you have some physical games. And
So
that's a big ask for a lot of people.
$800.
But for some people, this might be the time to jump to PC. You're going to see a lot of that conversation, you know.
I know everyone says this, but this is the one thing I'm not sure about, because PC's expensive, bro. Like, what did you say? The PS5 Pro is $700, and you, what, $70 for the disc drive, and but then you got to pay tax on top of that, and an extra something for the stand. What was it? $30 for the stand. But in England, that would be like £700 for the PS5, no tax. I don't have to worry about that. But the problem is, £700 isn't $700. £700 is like, what, $870 or something like that already on its own. But anyway, so you got £700, and you got, I'm guessing it's going to be £100 for the disc drive, maybe, and maybe $39.99 for the base or something. That's a guess. What's that? That's 700. That's 800 already, and then that's like 800 and what? 840 pounds. 840 pounds versus a PC, a really good solid one, for like 1,500. And that's not even that solid. That can barely play Wukong if you get £1,500 PC. So I don't know. Actually, I suppose if you're getting a £1,500 PC, that might be worth getting a PC, considering what PC can do versus what a PS5 can do in terms of like freedom to just get whatever kind of game you want. But the only issue is there'll be certain PS5 exclusives you won't be able to get. Not that there's that many, so what does it matter? But then also, if you're going to build a PC, there's 1,500. I feel like you just got to go at least 2,000 to get a really nice one. Because some graphic cards are like 1,500, but or at least close to that.
Especially considering the offering right now is pretty simple and not that exciting. I think had PlayStation showed off a bit more games than when the PS4 Pro launched, it felt like there was way more excitement and need around that one. PS4 and Xbox One were out for a long...
I need someone to do a comparison with like the differences between PS4 and PS4 Pro and the differences between PS5 and PS5 Pro, because it feels like the gap is a lot smaller.
Time, and they were already underpowered compared to PC since they were announced to a lot of people.
It's too expensive, man. I don't really care for it. I know I ain't getting it. To be fair, it took me a long time to get the PS4 Pro. It was Red Dead Redemption 2 that made me get that. I was like, man, my PS4 needs upgrading after playing that shit. It made my PS4 take off like a rocket. But there's nothing that's going to make me get a PS5 Pro. Maybe GTA 6 if it needs it, but I feel like you won't need it. I don't know. You might, because everybody wants to play GTA 6 at the highest possible graphics, fidelity, and performance. Because it's GTA 6. It's once in a lifetime? Once in a decade kind of event. It's an event. GTA 6 ain't a game, it's an event. And people want to experience that event in the best way possible. That might get people to get the PS5 Pro. Maybe that's why Sony are releasing it now, because they know GTA 6 are going to sell them units. Won't be long to a PS6 too. I know, right?
The PS5 Pro is dropping. It'll be available November 7th, 2024. Well. Just in time for the holiday season. Let's hope it doesn't become another like disastrous scalper thing again. According to Sony, pre-orders will begin on September.
Do you guys think this will be a scalper situation? I feel like it will be, even though people aren't looking forward to this. There's a lot of people that talk a lot of talk, but will end up buying it.
September 26, 2024. A lot of people online are already expressing some disinterest, but we need to see if talk online actually translates to real world dollars and cents here.
Literally
Personally, I get the need for it from a business sense and a tech sense, like we discussed, but the reality is it just wasn't like the most exciting announcement. Like, yes, ooh, the tree leaves in the background look a little sharper. I do care about that. You might actually care about that level of detail, but to upgrade and go all in with a new $700 console.
The way they've made it look, it literally looks like they just blurred this a little bit and clicked sharpen more on Photoshop for that. That's what, with a sharpen filter or something. That's what it looks like. Because I don't feel like the PS5 really looks that blurred when you're actually playing it. But obviously it's on YouTube as well.
We'll see.
I don't plan on buying it, so the scalpers can have it for now.
Are you considering, depending on where you live, getting more into the PC ecosystem now after looking at this price tag? After this announcement, if you haven't bought a PS5, are you still going to go all in and get the PS5 Pro?
If you've waited this long, you might as well just cop the Pro. Yeah, it's expensive. You've been waiting so long for it, and it is objectively better than the PS5. Like, except for the disk drive, but you can just add that on. Yes, it's more expensive, but there's no point getting a PS5 if the PS5 Pro is going to be out and you haven't got a PS5. But if you have got a PS5, there's no point trading it in and doing all that mess. It's just a little bit of sharper tree leaves.
We got you covered. We'll see you next time.
Lovely. Peace. Thanks for watching.